p.m.
What's up, Wise Take Nation? Welcome to an NBA DFS podcast. I'm your host, Paulie D. You can find me on Twitter at Paulie8Ds. I'm joined here tonight by TC and Josh. You can find TC at Terry_Collins12 on Twitter. And you can find Josh at CashinDFS. Josh, how you doing tonight?
Terrible.
Why is that? Is that because of Kevin Love?
It is.
Nice.
And Ricky Rubio.
And Ricky Rubio, yeah. You know, second revenge game this year and didn't really show up this time. The whole team kind of blew it. Shows kind of how valuable Gobert is to that squad. Terry, what about you? How you doing tonight?
Man, I've had better nights, I'll put it that way. But
yeah.
We'll be all right.
Terry's got some things going on in the real world with his cattle, so I hope that turns better for you tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, rough night for me as well.
Much worse than Kevin Love.
Yeah, like real problems, not DFS problems that we think are real, but as long as you didn't blow your whole bankroll, tomorrow's another day. We got ourselves a 3-game slate tomorrow, so we're gonna go game by game. And then at the end, we'll get like our favorite one or two at each position. First game of the night we have is the Boston Celtics visiting the Brooklyn Nets. We got the Celtics as road favorites right now at -3, and the over/under at 202. It looks like Kyrie Irving was upgraded to questionable, so you'll have to keep an eye out whether he's going to play. And D'Angelo Russell will be out for the Nets, so that should open up some interesting usage for the Nets tomorrow. Terry, I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about this game tomorrow. What do you like? And give me, if Kyrie's in and if he's out, different perspectives.
All right. If Kyrie's in, he will be in the majority of my lineups. Just looking at the other point guards on the slate, I'm just not too high on them or on anybody else. In 8,500, I'm okay with that. And then going down from there on the other team, Dinwiddie, I do like Dinwiddie at 5,800 and Kilpatrick at 3,800. With Russell out, the minutes should be up for Kilpatrick. He's definitely a guy that can pay off value. I would think this is a game where he could get good run, and he's shown ability to hit the value at 3.8 before. I also like going down to like Joe Harris at 3.4. Close game. I think a lot of guys are going to have to get more minutes than usual. He's definitely a guy that's shown the ability to drastically overdo his value. So I think at 3.4, that's just too low. He's definitely a 6 or 7x guy, I think, if game plays out how I think. And Quincy AC at 3.1. He's a guy, if he gets 20 minutes, I believe all year, if he's got 20 minutes, he's hit 20 fantasy points. And at 3.1, I think if he gets the run, he'd be a good option. So I like that. And then if we go with like Kyrie out, I do like Shane Larkin at 3K. I think he'll be the lesser owned of the three guys. I think he'll get a boost in ownership with Rozier, Smart, and Larkin. I think he'll get the least ownership, but he'll also get a boost in playing time if Kyrie's out. So I like that play there. And then, Horford at 7.8. Last time Kyrie was out, I think we were all talking about how Horford was going to get the big bump. So we have to kind of think the same thing here. If Kyrie's out, then Horford's definitely in play, especially with nobody that really scares me on the Brooklyn side in the post. So I definitely keep an eye out for him also.
Yeah, okay. Boston's a team we like to pick on with bigs. The Nets truly do not have any that are, super exciting. Maybe this is a decent spot for Tyler Zeller at low price. You mentioned Quincy AC. All week last week, it was like RHJ and Booker being on or off. They're both healthy. Trevor Booker's interesting to me at 4,300. Rondé Hollis Jefferson is 7,500 on FanDuel. That's out of control. Cash, tell me what you think, man.
I mean, if Kyrie plays and Russell's already out, like, I mean, how does Brooklyn have a chance? Like, I mean, I just don't see it. Like, oh man, I want to go down. Like, I want to go to like Harris and our dude Kilpatrick. I want to get these guys that's gonna be playing at min price that can go out and play the whole fourth quarter if Boston handles them. Which, I mean, how does Boston not handle this game? Like, how many games have Boston won in a row? Like 12 or something like that?
Yeah,
the defense is so good, and it's in Brooklyn, so they can keep it closer. But without Russell, I mean, I just don't see it. Like, how can they stay with Boston? They're so superior. Like, there's no way. Oh man, I don't know. I hope they just let Kyrie sit, because then it'll make it much better.
Yeah, talk to me if Kyrie is out. Then what's your thoughts?
Oh, then give me some Smart. Then give me some Rozier. Then give me some Horford.
Rozier is 6K on FanDuel. You'll pay that?
I will. If he's out, I mean, maybe not. I got to look at the other games, but I would damn sure play Smart, because it's like a perfect game for him. You know what I'm saying? For steals, blocks, all that.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I mean, yeah, he has way more upside than Rozier.
Rozier's 5,300 on DraftKings. That's a little more reasonable. I like the idea of going down to the other guard who'll probably get run, Shane Larkin. 3,500. Yes. He's probably the minimum on FanDuel. If Kyrie's out, we could see him get up to 20 minutes, and he's shown some aggressiveness when he's played this year. He's shown us to look for a shot. He's got assist upside, so I don't mind taking a shot on him if Kyrie's out. Overall, if Kyrie's out, then I'd be more interested in game stacking this game. You know what I mean? Like, it could stay close. I still think Boston's a superior team. Take Kyrie and Russell out of the picture, and I still think Boston will do well. But it's in New Jersey, pace-up spot. I like this game if Kyrie's out, and if he's not, then I'm with you. I'm just going to look for the value guys that, on both sides that may get an extended run here.
Theus is another one.
Theus is a good ball player. Getting minutes even when they're fully healthy. I could definitely see him getting a bump. Trying to get on the RG on and off tool, but it's down right now. If it refreshes and comes back up, we'll come back to this. But
how is Kilpatrick 3,800 when he doesn't even?
I know. Like, he's played 1 minute in his last two games.
I mean, they're raising these prices because old boy is out, Russell's out. So
yeah.
They raised Dinwiddie. I mean, Dinwiddie's like what?
5'8".
5'8", yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What about Isaiah Whitehead? Any interest in him? Like, he's been playing a little bit, 13, 15 minutes a game since getting called up. He's an interesting player, especially on FanDuel. Like, he can contribute steals and blocks, surprisingly. And another aggressive player with Russell being out. Like, someone's going to get – there's a lot of usage to go around for the Nets.
Oh, yeah.
Even Karis LeVert, like, we may see him take, like, a more aggressive role. This is a big, big usage bump for the team here with Russell being out.
No doubt. I mean, in Carroll, nobody said nothing about Carroll, so
yeah,
I expect nobody to play Carroll. Like, yeah, it's tough. Gotta definitely pay attention to what it's all on Kyrie. Like, that's it.
On a 3-game slate, it's like I'm talking about FanDuel right now with RHJ at 7,500. With Russell out, do you think it might be a sharp play to go there, assuming everyone's not, because that's just like a crazy price for him, and maybe he absorbs a lot of that usage?
Yeah, man. Nothing is out of the picture in the 3-game slate.
Yeah, I hear you.
Especially looking at that San Antonio Dallas
game. I know that's it. That's an exciting one. We'll get to that one in a minute. Let's move along to the Toronto-Houston game. We got Toronto visiting Houston. Houston is chalked in as a -6 favorite, and we got the over/under at about 219 right now. Cash, I'll start with you on this game. What do you like in this Toronto-Houston game?
Compared to these other two games, all of it. I like it all. Like, I want to get as much of this as I can. Like, but I mean, I expect everybody to think that way. So, yeah, you gotta try to be different somewhere. But yeah, man, I like all of it.
Get specific with me though. Like, you know, what specific players do you like? Which matchups?
Wow, James Harden's price is 12.5.
He's 12.3 on DraftKings.
Wow. I like Lowry for sure. I like DeRozan over Harden because that price, and hopefully Harden guards DeRozan.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So definitely like that. But I mean, DeRozan don't have 80-point upside like Harden does.
No, absolutely not.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, I might just go DeRozan Gordon and just pray. Like, this is gonna be one of them slates, like most 3-game slates, where you just
Hail Mary
slates. Yep, you just drop to your knees and pray at 7 o'clock. 7:30 it starts today. So yeah, 7:30. I'll be down on my knees, looking up to the heavens. I don't want Serge Ibaka, but man, okay, Capella. If I like Capella.
Okay. What about Jonas Valanciunas? I just noticed he only played 16 minutes in the last game. I just pulled it up. It's not that he got an injury, foul trouble. Why did he only play 18 minutes against Boston, a team where they want bigs? You think the game just went real small?
It's the coach, man. Like, his minutes are always just so up and down. Like, it's like you just got to flip a coin. Do I want to play Val today? Is coach going to play Val? Heads or tails? I mean, it's pretty much what it is.
You know, obviously it's a big pace-up spot for Toronto. You know, you want to find some of the players there that are getting a big boost here, but
I think I seen today that Powell is going to be out. It says game time decision, but I thought, he's no longer on crutches. Okay,
no longer using crutches. All right,
let's say Powell is out.
He's probably not going to be playing.
Yeah. So give me Miles at 3.1. Yeah, I'll take all of that.
Yeah, that looks.
Then you could get in Harden.
Looks like a real nice value play there. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to look to ways to get Harden in. Chris Paul's actually expected to come back Thursday, so this might be the last time we get Harden with the mega usage. Terry, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of right along the same lines as you guys. I prefer DeRozan over Harden, but at the same time, in a 3-game slate like this, it's hard to pass up to where, especially if Kyrie's out, the presumably highest scoring player raw point wise on the night. It's hard to go away from that. If you're making a lot of lineups, I'll probably have him faded in a lot of them, just hoping that he takes a dud and everyone goes there. But on a lot of lineups, I'm going to have to honor that just because he's really the only guy that I can look at this entire slate, other than maybe one or two guys, and think that, you know, if I don't have shares of him, it could kill me. You know, then you guys already mentioned CJ Miles. I like that at 3-1. At first I was up on Ryan Anderson at 4-6, but he's at home. It's been proven he doesn't shoot as well as at home, so I'm not too interested in that. But Capella and Ibaka, both of those I'm really interested in. But really most of my ownership is going to be on the San Antonio, Dallas side or Boston, Brooklyn game. So I don't have a crazy amount of interest here just because I feel like, I think Paulie, you already mentioned it, but everyone's going to gravitate towards this game. And I think aside from Harden, I can find guys that have roughly the same price, same value upside, same raw points upside as guys in this game.
Yeah, especially in a point per dollar sense. You mentioned fading Harden in a lot of lineups. So will that be fades as if this game's a blowout and he just doesn't get there? Or fading him and playing a lot of this game and just hoping that he has an off night, but the rest of his pieces do well?
Yeah, it'll be the lineups. I don't have Harden. I'll probably have a decent amount of shares of Gordon, and probably throw in some Ariza there too. It's going to be a sense that it's not necessarily, I think it's going to be a blowout. I do think they'll win comfortably, but I don't think it'll be enough to limit his time. I'm just really hoping that he struggles a little bit, and I feel like, I don't see anybody else that I think is going to, take ownership away from him. So it's just one of those things to where I think on a 3-game have a decent amount of lineups that are going to have like Gordon and Ariza and Tucker instead of Harden. And that very well may kill me. But I'm fine with that because on slates like this, I like to try to get as far away from the chalk as I can, except for, like I said, I'm going to have some of them because I do think he's going to be the raw points winner of the night, probably. So I can't fade him 100%, but probably it'll probably be 40% fade, maybe even a 50-50 split in my lineups.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. On small slates, sometimes, even though the guy doesn't pay off value, point per dollar, you need his raw scoring. And, if you're going to have a lot of this game, it's just so unlikely for Harden not to contribute in some facet. Even if his shot's not falling, he'll be getting the assists and some rebounds here. So, I think if you're going to be in this game, you can want to try and find ways with Harden. We just gave you Miles as one way of getting him in your lineups.
And I want to say PJ Tucker has revenge. He was with the Raptors last year.
Yep, PJ Tucker revenge.
If you believe in PJ Tucker.
You think they might throw PJ Tucker on DeRozan and let Harden run around with Miles?
That'd be interesting.
Damn sure could. I mean, that's what I would want to do. Like, I want it's either Tucker or Bahamute who I want on him.
Either one of
them. Yeah.
Mahamute, I feel like, when he comes on the court and say it's Gordon, Harden, Mahamute, Tucker, and Capella, right? Like, I think Mahamute would go to Ibaka. And PJ Tucker could get him. I don't think they'll take Mahamute to guard because then they would have nobody for Ibaka.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's gonna be like in the first game versus Golden State. Wasn't it Golden State? They had a lineup of Chris Paul, Harden, Tucker, Bahamute, and Ariza on the court. That's a defensive unit right there because most teams go small into the game.
Yeah.
Like that is. Like, I watched it, I was like, man, that's one hell of a finishing unit right there.
Yeah. All right, last game of the night. We got San Antonio going into Dallas. San Antonio, we got another road favorite at -6. And we got the over-under at about 202. TC, tell me what you like in this game.
Yeah, I like this game mainly just how I mentioned earlier, getting away from that Houston game on a lot of them. But here, DSJ at 6'3", I really like that. He's been playing really well as of late. So I feel like riding that train, he's probably going to be decently high owned also, but I don't think high enough that I'm going to want to worry too much about it. Barnes at 6'9", he's been getting good run too, so I'm definitely interested in that. And even Barea at 4'2" on the Dallas side. I like that spot there for him. On the San Antonio side, with Danny Green out, well, questionable. I guess it's not stated yet, but questionable. If he is out, I'm going to have a lot of Brandon Paul at 3-3. If he's not there, then I feel like a lot of he can play defense. He can slide into the Danny Green defense role, and I would think, should get a decent amount of shots that are left from Green being out. So I really like that. And then let's see. Dallas, if you go off Roto Grinders rankings for defense, Dallas struggles guarding the power forwards and centers. So I think LMA 8,700, he's definitely in play. And then up top at point guards, I could get behind either one of the San Antonio point guards, Murray or Mills. They're pretty even in price. Just from what I've seen, I think Murray has the higher upside in my mind, but that's very debatable. So I really don't like one more than the other. It'll just be a pretty even mix between both of them.
Yeah, I hear you. That I'm a little surprised, but Dallas is actually like at the bottom of the rankings at almost every position except forward. 20th against the point guard, 26th against the shooting guard, 28th against forward, 26th against the center. Usually you just think of Dallas as like a pace down, blah, let's cross this game off the list and pair them with the Spurs, and it's definitely a game you want to cross off the list on a large slate. But on this slate, I think this is a game we may want to dive into a little bit more, considering it'll probably be the lower owned spot on the slate. So, Cash, tell me what you like in this game as I try and look into some minutes.
Well, about Murray and Mills, I do prefer Murray because Mills this year, man, I don't know what's up with him, but he's just not aggressive. He's not shooting. It's just been bad.
Real quick on that, I didn't see their game over the weekend where they played the Bulls. Prior to that, we had seen a steady decline in Murray's minutes. He was playing 28, 29 early in the year. Then he played, 20s about a week ago. Then he got 19 against the Clippers last week, then 9 against the Bucks, and then all of a sudden he got a pop to 25. I'd been talking to you, looks like Bryn Forbes has crossed him over in the rotation. Forbes got 30 minutes in that game, 34 minutes. It was a massive blowout, so that could be a factor. But Patty Mills got the least, played only 20. I'm not really sure what's going on with those three, but that's one piece of the puzzle I think we need to try and solve, by tomorrow. What else do you like here?
That was Manu was out, so yeah, that makes a difference. But if I'm picking a Dallas guard, of course, DSJ, the point guard, but shooting guard, I'll take JJ over Wesley Matthews because Wesley Matthews plays 40 minutes and gets 3 fantasy points. Somehow, it's more amazing to me that a guy can play 40 minutes and get 3 points than a guy can play 40 minutes and get 100. The 100 is okay, great game. To get 3, good God, I think you'd be able to play on your knees for 40 minutes and get 3 fantasy points. The ball will just fall to you 3 times. But LA, I like LA here. There's nobody on Dallas. There's nobody on Dallas that can handle him. Yep. And if I want to get wild, I'll go Measury on Dallas because there's nobody on San Antonio that can handle this guy either. Nobody.
Yep.
So, they raised Pau Gasol's price. I've been riding that wave, but at that price, he went out and got 47 last game. But
what price you looking at on FanDuel?
6'6".
6'6". Yeah, he's 6'5" on DraftKings.
That was his second big game of the year. I've been riding the dude, but I've been riding him more for safety than for the huge upside because it's just not there no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wasn't that a little bit of a revenge spot too for Powell against the Bulls?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played there.
What's the deal with Nerlens Noel? Is there any chance he gets some run in this game, or what's going on? Why is he not getting any playing time? Is he hurt and they're just not telling us?
No.
Why did they trade for him last year?
Why did they give him a big contract in off season?
I'm so confused by this.
Me too. I was expecting him to be starting at the beginning of the year, and I have no idea. But don't play him. I do know that.
2 minutes? He played 2 minutes his last game? 6 before that? He was playing in the 20s earlier in the year, and now the last 5 games, he played 17, 13, 14, 6, and then 2.
Yeah, it's tough. Maybe you want to get crazy and throw him out there, but yeah, I could see him playing 0 minutes. I would rather play Measury, a guy that can go for 40.
Jesus, it's tough. What about Dirk Nowitzki? Any interest in him? He's a guy that if he's on good rest and gets the minutes, if this game stays close, I think if the game stays close, he could be a guy they lean on in the crunch time to keep a minute and possibly win. But if it gets out of hand, he's first to the bench, so he's risky. But any interest in him?
Not for me.
No, not for me either. I think if him and Powell guard each other, it's going to be like in senior citizen basketball game type thing. Did you guys see how bad he got embarrassed by LeBron when he went out to guard him on the 3-point line?
Who, Dirk?
Kidding me.
Yeah, Dirk.
I don't think
There's
Dirk.
not a guy in the league that Dirk can guard.
No,
that's a mistake.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't even like a crazy move. LeBron took 3 steps back and Dirk came out a couple of steps just to face him up. And LeBron did one crossover and then just drove straight. Like there was not even a wiggle, just a crossover and straight, and Dirk's ankles buckled right then. I was like, yep, that's how we know he's done. He's done.
What's LaMarcus Aldridge's price over there on FanDuel?
8-7.
8-7. He's 8-5 on DraftKings. Tough price tag in a pace down game, but until Kawhi comes back, he's clearly the usage monster on this team, and an interesting play on this slate. I mean, there's not a ton of power forwards to choose from.
I mean, Harrison Barnes. I mean, FanDuel is what is Harrison Barnes' price on DK? Because they're just not raising it on FanDuel.
On DK, he's 6-1.
6-1. Yeah, I mean, the way he's been playing, man, I could do it. I am not a fan of Harrison Barnes. Like, I do not.
No, me neither.
But
the
he's been playing well.
The one weak spot of the Spurs defense is at small forward. They're actually shooting guard and small forward. They're ranked first against point guards, 8th against centers, 13th against power forwards, and then 19th against shooting guards and 25th against the small forward. It's early in the season, but those the trend so far. And until Kawhi comes back, I think that'll stay that way. So Barnes is probably one of the more attractive guys on Dallas for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. He's probably the most. I mean, he has the highest upside on the team.
What about this logjam we have at point guard / shooting guard for Dallas? Like, we got Dennis Smith Jr., we got JJ Barea, then we got Yogi Ferrell and Wesley Matthews. Who of those 4 would you be most inclined to play tomorrow?
Well, for me, it's Smith and Barea. Because I mean, Wesley Matthews just oh man.
Barea does have a 26.3% true usage, so I do like that.
And I can't play Yogi Ferrell either. Like, I would.
I hate playing Yogi Ferrell.
Yeah, it's Smith. Smith's usage has been up.
Yeah, 27.1. I do like that.
It's been really high. So, I mean,
at 5-6 on DraftKings, I could definitely go there. On FanDuel at 6-3, it's a little harder.
Yeah, I don't think that he's got. I don't think he can go out there and get you 50, but go out there and get you 30 and not kill you. But yeah, I don't know. This is a tough slate. Like, the way I look at it right now, I want to make a hardened team. Like, I just want to make 2 teams and not play very much. But I want to make a hardened team, and then I want to make a team with just completely fading them and just trying to get LA, DeRozan, Gordon, like the other players that are just middle of the pack that you could just fit a whole bunch of them in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. TC, anything else you want to add on this game?
No, that's pretty much it from me. I don't think I really have any questions or comments.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not the most exciting of slates. Obviously, we're going to be playing it because we play every day. But I do agree. You probably want to lighten up your how much you play tomorrow. For me, it's going to be probably 3 lineups. I'll have each of those 3 entered in the donkey, a single entry, and like 100-man, and that'll be it. And just hope I get probably go mostly contrarian. Hope I catch the right low-owned guys. With that said, let's pull up FanDuel's pricing, and let's just kind of go position by position here and try and build ourselves a nice lineup for the donkey. So this is going to be, the $4, 150,000, whatever the tournament is tomorrow. Let's try and do like a little roster construction and talk about our favorite players. Starting with point guard, TC, who is your favorite point guard on this slate tomorrow?
My favorite on the slate, if he plays, is Kyrie.
Okay. Kyrie's your favorite if he plays. How about favorite point per dollar?
Favorite point per dollar. It'd be pretty close between Rozier or Larkin.
Rozier
I
or
would
Larkin?
personally go. Yeah, I'd probably go Larkin there for point per dollar aspect.
If Kyrie plays, you'd still go there?
If Kyrie's out, sorry.
If Kyrie's out, I think if Kyrie's out, Shane Larkin would be my favorite point per dollar play. Let's assume Kyrie's in. Who's your favorite point per dollar play at point guard?
All right. If Kyrie's in, aside from Kyrie,
he's not going to be your favorite point per dollar play. I mean,
no.
6x is 51 points. I don't know if we're going to get that.
Yeah. That's tough. I'm not really too big on any of the point guards, but it'd probably be. I could probably get behind some DeJounte Murray at 4-4.
DeJounte Murray at 4-4. I like that. Cash, who's your favorite raw points play at point guard and then point per dollar?
Raw points. Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr. Okay.
That's not what I think, but that's just what I say.
Right. And who's your favorite point per dollar play?
Isaiah Whitehead.
Yeah, that would be mine. And I think a contrarian approach on this slate would be to play Dinwiddie and Isaiah Whitehead on the same team. If if you want to get a piece of that game and get contrarian on a donkey tournament.
That's all 48 minutes of point guard on one team. I do that.
Yep, I do like that. I think that could help you differentiate. I don't think a ton of people are going to go there, especially if Kyrie's out. I think Rozier and Larkin will definitely be pretty popular. If Kyrie's out, I'm going to take a long, hard look at Larkin. He'll also help you get hardened into your lineups. I like the stars and scrubs approach on FanDuel anyway, so I'm kind of hoping Kyrie's out because then you could just do whatever you want on this slate. Let's move it on to shooting guard, TC, raw points, and then point per dollar.
All right. For me, it'd be Harden, raw points, point per dollar. It'd be Brandon Paul.
3,300. I like that. This is a guy I like. I think his price is gonna raise a lot. As the year progresses, I think he's fallen into that Simmons role from last year, where second unit aggressor, second unit, take the most shots, and he can contribute, in many facets of the game. So I definitely like that call. Go ahead.
Yeah, now that his defense has started to step back up to what it was, when he was in college, I really think Pop will lean more towards him, especially with Danny Green out tomorrow. I think he might start to get more run, like you said. I think by the time the year's over, I wouldn't be surprised if he's more around 48 to 5-2. That's where I think he'll end up at this year.
Danny Green, I just read, was a full participant in practice today and hopes to play Tuesday. Keep an eye on that. If Danny Green is in, would you come off of your Brandon Paul liking?
I wouldn't like it as much, but I still think that point per dollar, I still think I would go him. I don't nearly love it as much, but I would still go him for a point per dollar.
Yep. I mean, I think there's a guy a little bit more, maybe two, but I think with Green in, Paul's ownership will be significantly lower, and he still has the same side, I think. Cash, talk to me. Raw points and then point per dollar shooting guard.
Raw points is easy.
Yeah.
It's James Harden. And point per dollar for me is Kilpatrick.
Yeah.
That's not the safe option, but that's my point per dollar play.
Yeah. I mean, he can win you the slate. He not
go for
high.
He can go for 30 easily.
And if he gets even 15 minutes, he can get you up there. But there's a chance, that coach is like, all right, Russell's out. I got to play this guy. And, he gets 30 minutes and, kind of surprises the world because they don't really have a ton of options. They got the 2 point guards, but neither of those guys are a guy that are going to take 20 shots.
Got Dumbo ears.
Dumbo ears. Tell me who that is.
Crab.
Yeah, yep. Alan Crab could definitely
look at his ears.
Definitely take the shots.
Look at those ears.
Crab is small forward on FanDuel, but definitely another guy that we didn't actually mention. I'm glad you did because he's definitely going to be the guy they look to pick up a lot of that scoring slack. With that said, TC, raw points and point per dollar at small forward.
All right. I'd probably PJ Tucker.
For raw points?
Now that'd be my point per dollar at 4.3. Raw points is difficult. There's a few guys I like, but I'd probably go Brown or Tatum.
Jaylen Brown, small forward. Tatum is power forward on FanDuel.
Yeah.
It's, FanDuel conversation right now.
Yeah.
So Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't. Yeah, that's who I'd go with.
All right, that's fine. Cash, talk to me. Raw points and point per dollar, small forward.
Harrison Barnes, CJ Miles.
Okay, I like that a lot more than my answer. All
right. Yeah, I think I'd go Harrison Barnes for raw points, and point per dollar is tough. I do like the Miles play, but I also have interest in Crab and Joe Harris.
I was about to say Harris could be as well.
Yeah, so point per dollar, there's a couple options down there. If Green is out, Kyle Anderson or Rudy Gay would become more attractive to me as well. So a lot of plays kind of depending on his, whether he's active or not. Looks like they're leaning to him being active, so I think most of this is going to be out the window. But you never know.
If Powell's going to be out, wouldn't you expect CJ Miles to see close to 30 minutes?
Yeah, no, I totally do. Pace up spot. I definitely like that. But Miles is a guy who can disappear. They do like this OG and Nunna boy guy, and they have a handful of power forward guys that can get minutes too. Miles seemed to kind of been losing his role. Early in the year, he was starting, getting upwards of 30 minutes. Now Powell's starting, and we're seeing Miles getting minutes in the teens, low 20s. So, he could. This is definitely a great spot for it. But if PJ Tucker stays on him or is matched, that's not the best situation for Miles. And Alan Crab may be better point per dollar too if he's going to be taking 20 shots. So this is probably a spot where you win a tournament is picking the small forwards outright.
The OG dude is going to be a very sneaky option. I don't expect people to be clicking on that name.
No, definitely not. No way he's more than 10% owned. And, he got 20 minutes in his last game. Do you know if Powell got hurt during that game, late, early?
I don't know exactly when he got hurt, but yeah.
Minutes.
In that game.
He played 7 minutes in that game.
So it was early.
Yeah, so we got a Nun boy who played 21. And let's see what Miles played in that game. Miles got 21 minutes as well. So, yeah, I think Miles will be more popular than OG. And, I can't say with certainty that Miles is going to be the better play tomorrow. So that's something we're going to have to look more into. Moving along to power forward, raw points, and then point per dollar. TC, talk to me about power forward.
I'm looking at the defensive rankings for all these. Is Aldridge center or power forward on
power
FanDuel?
Forward.
All right, then he'd be my raw points guy. And then I'd probably go. I wouldn't mind Ibaka, but at 5'3", I don't know how much upside he has. So maybe Morris from Boston. 4'6", I like that.
Especially if Kyrie's out, Marcus Morris could go up. he's still underpriced for where he was last year. This was a guy who got up to like 7K on FanDuel, so I can get behind that. There is a play that I like a little more. Let me see if Cash calls it out. Cash, raw points and point per dollar, power forward.
Raw points, LA. That's easy.
Yeah.
But he could disappear. And if he disappears, oh man, I want to take my cojones out and say Ryan Anderson. But
Ryan Anderson, wow. For
I
point per dollar?
You dropped those right on the table.
Ryan Anderson,
raw points if LA just disappears, which he can. I mean, he's a magician. But point per dollar is Theus for me.
Theus. All right. If Ryan Anderson was on the road, I would consider it. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was reports that Ryan Anderson, the reason he struggles shooting at home is he's colorblind, and in the stadiums where there's a lot of red, that like affects his shooting the most. Any reds or oranges. Yeah.
I was wondering. I knew something. I thought it was like the depth.
I think Paulie, I think you were the one who either told me or maybe you were on a conversation on Twitter. Somebody either here or someone on Twitter like shared it or was in a conversation. That's where I picked it up from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I've known it. Like I've known there's something going on because it's been like this ever since he got there. But
me
I didn't know what it was.
Exactly. And like that kind of made it all make sense to me. Like, there was a time where I started playing him a lot at home, just assuming like, the variance would correct itself. Like he's a good shooter. He should be able to have good games at home. And when I read that, it made sense to me and kind of solidifies I'm not going to be playing him at home. Like I'm sure he'll have like, a handful of games where he does all right. Yeah. But I'm not going to fight that kind of data. And there's just, if he was on the road, I would actually really like that. A stretch 4 against Ibaka, it's a good call.
They need to put a memo out there.
Yeah,
wear red.
Yeah,
exactly.
Blackout. Yep. For me, I agree. Raw points, LaMarcus Aldridge. I was thinking about, throwing Mike Onis on the table and going with Tatum if Kyrie's out, but I still think LMA is going to lead the charge, but I do like Tatum a lot if Kyrie's out. And then my point per dollar play is going to be Trevor Booker. You can definitely beat Boston down low, and Booker should get more usage and minutes with Russell out. And I think he'll definitely go for 6 or 7x in this game. Moving along to centers, the last spot. TC, talk to me, raw points, and then point per dollar.
All right, raw points, I'll go Capella, and point per dollar, I'll go Baines at 4-5 and hope that it blows out and he still gets a lot of the run.
Okay, that's cool. Cash, what do you like?
Capella, point per dollar, Measury.
Capella, point per dollar, Measury. Interesting. I like both of those. I'll go Horford, raw points with Kyrie out. And point per dollar, I will agree, Measury. I guess that's it. Small game slate. Wednesday, we got a large slate, so make sure you catch us tomorrow night. A lot more on that slate to dive into. Anything either one of you want to say about this slate before we get on out of here?
I have a question.
All right.
Is Jonas Valanciunas going to be ran off the court in this pace-up game? Like, is he going to get 15 minutes? Or is coach going to leave him out there to play 27, 24?
I'm trying to find out why he didn't get those minutes. It wasn't foul trouble. Maybe they went small. I got to check the popcorn machine after this and see. He's an interesting guy because, I think people looking at the box scores will get scared off of him. But he also is second in this team in usage, and we've seen him go over 40. So, yeah, it's like, they're on the road, so Houston should control the pace here. I don't know. I don't know what I think of that situation. But, before the season started, I'd heard that his usage was going to go up. We saw it in the preseason. They want him to take on, more of a role similar to, Jokic out in Denver. So, he's a guy that could win you this slate as well. There's not a ton of other options. I mean, we got Powell coming off great games, but his price is up. But I think he'll get some ownership. And then Capella and Horford. Like, I don't think guys are really going to come down to any of these value options. So I think Jonas will be 10 to 15% owned on this slate. And, we'll have to see if we find anything out there why he didn't play those minutes. But he's definitely a guy that will be lower owned and could easily be the highest scoring point per dollar out of those four, mentioned centers.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, catch us tomorrow on the wide stream, probably 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock start. We'll tweet it out with the first game starting at 7:30. You'll get our final picks. We'll have more information on who's in, who's out, hopefully. And the wide stream's been hot. We've been calling out winners. I believe CK had a decent sweat tonight. Hopefully he finished deep. He was like 19th in the $12 single entry last we checked. Gautzab was out there too. They loaded up on that Utah-Philly game. That was one of the better games of the night. And then, tomorrow we'll get into this 3-game. Then next day we got the large slate that we'll all be up for. There's some big money tournaments on Wednesday slate. Try and hit a qualifier tomorrow. Get, there's $1 satellite into a $1,500 ticket for Wednesday. So I'll be playing some of those. With that said, I think that's it. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
I'm good.
Tyler Zeller revenge.
Tyler Zeller revenge. I like that. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Add some comments. Let us know how we're doing. We really appreciate that. If you're listening on iTunes or Podbeam, give us some reviews. That really helps our rankings, and we really appreciate it. It takes a couple seconds. We really, really appreciate that. Help the nation live on strong. For Terry Collins, CashinDFS, we are out of here.
Yeah.